Hey guys, it's Cam and welcome back to my channel. So today I am reviewing this beauty, the Hangin' in Hawaii palette by BH Cosmetics. And when you open her up, this palette is absolutely stunning. I mean, seriously, I'm getting so many summer vibes, and like that's really what I needed and kind of why I even went out and bought this palette, because I'm fed up with winter. Like, come on, enough already. It's so bad that like I go to my dermatologist and I get like scaly hands and they're like, oh, you have eczema and it's from the wind and, you know, the cold and everything. So basically I'm allergic to winter and I live in New York, so that sucks. But yeah, I just was over it and I wanted to pick me up, and I just want to like skip spring and just get into summer right now. Like, I want it to be 80 degrees outside and I'll be happy. But anyway, seriously, this palette is absolutely stunning. I will also be doing swatches of it for you at the end of this video. So if you have a similar skin tone to mine or you want to see how the shimmers look, then you can definitely see that at the end. But first, I'm going to do this look for you right here. And I'm not really one that does a lot of like first impressions and stuff, and like I don't like to make up looks on the fly because I'm just not comfortable with that. And before I give my opinion of a product to you, I want to really have had the time to play with it, test it out, do a few different looks with it, and really see how every color in the palette performs. So when I first got this palette, I did a lot of neutral eye looks. It's got a lot of really pretty tans and beiges, and it's got basically like almost every single type of beige gold shimmer that you can imagine right here. So I really started playing with the browns, kind of seeing how I could deepen that up. And I will say that for a drugstore palette, this does perform really well. Now it's $16, and I actually picked it up at Ulta when I had a $5 off coupon. So you do the math as to how much I paid for it. But I really thought it was a great deal for how many colors you get and just how cohesive they all are and how many different looks you can do with them. So I will say that with the darker like brown mattes in this palette, I would build them up very slowly. That's kind of how I like to test the blendability, especially with deeper matte colors, because that's where it's really important to blend them out. Like shimmers, you're not going to have an issue blending those out usually. But I would say that with the deep browns in this palette, build them up lightly and don't like pack on the color and try to blend it out, because that doesn't really work with their formula as much. And so yeah, I did a lot of playing around with the neutrals, but I really wanted to use the pops of color that are in this palette. And it sort of inspired me, like with the whole Hawaii theme, to do a kind of like sunset eye look. So this is what I came up with, and I hope you guys like it. And if you want to know how I got this look, then keep watching. So yeah, definitely look for this palette, especially when it's on sale, because BH Cosmetics is always having sales on their website, and you can also use Ulta coupons on this. So overall, I think it's a great value for just the variety of looks that you can do with it. And you generally don't find like this many peachy colors, and I just really like the color story of this. And I know, I'm sorry, I had to take a break from filming my how-to makeup series, which I'm gonna link that playlist for you up here, so that way you can kind of see my favorite makeup techniques. And I like to just break everything down for you in different sections, so you got foundation separately and contour separately and all that stuff. So definitely check it out up here. But I just wanted to take a break from it and play around with some new makeup and kind of like start stocking my makeup collection. And so I wanted to do a look for you with this palette. And if it's your first time here, then welcome, and I definitely hope that you subscribe and join the happy campers. But I'm gonna try to intersperse like fun videos like this in between my how-to makeup series, because it just gets a little serious sometimes. And if you like this look, then please hit that thumbs up button down below for me, and let's get started. Alright, so I've zoomed you in so you can get a better look at what I'm doing, and we're gonna dive straight into this eye look. So I'm actually going to take my E40 and dip it into the shade Ohana right here as my first transition shade, and that's because I really want to blend these pinks and oranges together. And so this is just going to give a nice transition shade in the crease. And I'm really placing this pretty high near the brow bone, because I do want it to peek through a little bit from under the next color. Next, with the same brush, I'm gonna go into the color Hibiscus right here and just blend that ever so gently below the pink, just to like meld them together and add a little more depth now. And I'm just gonna go back in with the light pink again, just to blend it out a little more. Now with my Sigma E25, I'm gonna go into this color Paradise. I'm gonna start packing it on the outer corner of the lid, going a little into the crease. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the inner corner right here. And then ever so gently blend in between them. And then we're gonna repeat to build up the intensity. Now I'm just gonna jump back in with the color Hibiscus to add a little bit more of that orange back into the crease. And then I'm packing the color Paradise back in the inner and outer corners again, just so we don't lose that pink. Now with my Sigma E45, I'm gonna go into the color Mahalo down here. And I'm just adding the tiniest bit in the inner and outer corners to just add a little bit of depth and smoke it out, because when I first did this look, I didn't do that, and so it just looked a little too washed out and not exactly with as much depth as I wanted to. So I'm just gonna add this to the very inner and outer corners. And really what I'm trying to do here is not so much add a lot of brown, but just deepen up that pink a little bit. Now, if you wanted to intensify this brown, you could go in with a pencil brush, but because this one's fluffier, it's just giving the slightest hint of color. Then I actually am gonna grab a pencil brush, and this is the Sigma E30, and just go back in with the color Paradise a little bit to really make that pink pop and make sure we haven't lost it in the brown color. And then with whatever's left of my E25, I'm just gonna blend out the crease one more time. Alright, so it's time to cut the crease, and what I'm gonna do is a halo cut crease. So I'm just gonna do it in the very center because I'm trying to create that kind of like sunset eye, so to speak. So I'm gonna grab my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer, and this is in the shade C2. And I'm just gonna put some on the back of my hand. And I'm using my Sigma E56 to actually carve out my crease. And now I'm just gonna wipe off that brush on a paper towel. And then just to set it, I'm gonna go in with the color Pineapple right here. And now I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. And again, I'm gonna wipe it off and cover that whole area with Pineapple. Now the first thing I wanna do is dive back into Paradise with my pencil brush and just start building it back up in the corners. And if you haven't made your cutouts even, this is kind of where you can go and even them out. Next, what I really want to do is blend this gold in the center and the pink together. So on the same E56, I'm going to pick up the color Lay right here and apply this one in between the pink and the gold just to blend them together, and it's going to add a little bit more bright orange back into the look. And then just blend out with Pineapple, so that way we have no harsh edges, and we're also not covering up too much of the center. And then you can basically go between Lay and Pineapple and kind of layer in where you want orange, where you want that shimmer to be. You can always cover up the mattes with the shimmer and kind of like regain your shape, so to speak. So I'm gonna do that until I get a nice blend. Alright, now that I'm basically done and I've got the whole shape of the eye look laid out and everything, I'm going to go back in with the E45 into the color Mahalo, and then just deepen up that inner and outer edge just a little bit more and make sure that it connects nicely to where that cut crease begins. And then for the final touch with my pencil brush, add a little bit of that pink back in. If you want to, you can stop here, or if you want to glam it up a little bit more, I'm going to go in with this NYX Liquid Crystal Body Liner, and this is in the color Crystal Silk, and it's just a really nice gold glitter eyeliner. And I'm going to use this to outline the edge of this cut crease. Okay, now just to keep with the rounded kind of theme of this eye look, I'm just gonna take my Essence Super Precise eyeliner and just do a thin line just to help disguise my lash band. And then I'm gonna go in with some Ardell Wispies. Okay, I'm back, and I just wanted to finish up the top so that way we can get started on the bottom lash line. And so I'm gonna take my E20 brush from Sigma, and I'm gonna dip it into the color Lay first. And then just smudge this along the lower lash line. I'm gonna buff it out, bringing it lower. And then do the same thing on this eye. And then I'm taking my Morphe M165, dipping it into the color Mahalo down here. And then I'm really just gonna stamp and blend this along the lower lash line just to smoke it out a little bit. And now I'm just gonna cut my bottom lashes with mascara, and I'm using my IT Cosmetics Superhero Stretch. And then with my E47, I'm going into the color Hula right here, and just using this as an inner corner highlight and on my brow bone. Okay, and so here's the final look. All right, time for swatches. Alright, so that's it. I really hope that you like this sort of sunset eye look, and if you do, then please hit that thumbs up button down below for me, and leave me a comment and let me know like what other BH Cosmetics palettes you guys have been digging, because I'm really trying to get into their stuff. I think they have a great price point, and from everything that I've played with, I also have the Festival palette by them, and I think they're really good quality for the price. So let me know what other palettes by them you recommend, and just what your favorite BH Cosmetics products are so I can check them out. Are you still here? That's it, the look's done. Alright, well if you still want to check out some videos from me, here's a couple more. Go ahead, click on them. And if you haven't already, I don't know what you're waiting for, but click on my face right here and it'll subscribe you to my channel. Come on. Clicky, clicky. Alrighty, so that is it, my loves. Mwah. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you in my next video.